Okay, so I have made a bunch of videos talking about how important it is to stay alive, how important it is not to be that first death. And to highlight that example, I decided to spectate one of the rank number one player and just take a look at one of his games on one of the domination maps and show you how important it is that first pick matters versus overall kills by the very end of the game.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2. All you need to
So
do is
here
stop
we're just gonna watch from their perspective, and we're going to see how often it is where the enemy team or the whichever team gets that first pick eventually ultimately takes control over that objective. Once you have that numbers advantage, essentially.
nice deep freeze.
So here we have Jeff. Jeff gets the first pick. Now it's a 6v5.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Now, just through sheer pressure alone, they don't have the numbers. Second pick, third pick. So here we see Mag got 2 kills, right? But it was after Jeff had the first initial pick. Now Emma gets a kill and Hella gets a kill, and they stagger them farther. Everybody here has got, like, we take a quick second to pause. Hella is 4-0, right? Mag is 3-0, Emma's 3-0. But the first initial pick, the reason why that fight was so easy was because Jeff had that first kill so early on in the fight. So even though everybody else has got numbers up on the scoreboard, why did they have those numbers in the first place, right? So here they are applying pressure, but they're not dying. They're trying to get picks and force them to engage. You see them backing up and giving up space.
Your powers are mine.
We're going to see who gets the first pick.
Put on a show.
So far, nothing's dying.
I am ready to
Now we see the enemy Hella get a pick.
put on a show.
So now it is a 6v5 in the enemy team's favor.
Thanks so much. I am ready to put on a show.
While ulting, if we don't get something to even up this fight, then
I was worried.
the benefit or the advantage will be in the enemy team. And there's the second pick, and now the third.
Control seized.
So there, even though they were ulting, hoping to even the fight out, the blue team held on to that advantage really, really well. And were able to keep it a 6v5. So once the Luna ult ran out, they naturally had a numbers advantage and were able to secure the objective.
I suck. What strange beasts from Midgard's depths? You belong to me! Soldiers name I don't have to be sent to
Now here, technically speaking, the Magneto gets the first pick, and he does get it on the support, but he traded, so we'll just Hela gets the next pick to actually give you the real numbers advantage, which means that now Loki gets the next pick, and then Hela gets the follow-up on the last few staggers. Meg traded, technically got the first pick, but realistically the numbers advantage happened once Hela got the pick. Hela gets a good stagger.
Your powers are mine.
Oh, but he
I like it cold. I am ready to put on a show.
already back, I believe? No, he's not back yet.
Still have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
So Namor is back now, so it's 6v6.
I am ready to put on a show.
We're waiting to see who dies.
I am ready to put on a show.
Namor gets a single pick, So now it's a 6v5 in blue team's favor. If they don't do something quick to equal out that numbers advantage that they've got, then really need to stabilize. Nope. Now they have a second pick, third pick, fourth pick. Domino effect. Everyone's gonna die.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Once the blue team was able to secure that kill with Namor and literally just wait out the Luna ult, they were able to keep and hold on to that numbers advantage just through sheer force alone. Now we're waiting to see who gets the first pick.
I like the cold.
Hell unleashed! Your powers are mine!
Glory's almost yours. I am ready to put on a show. I am ready to put on a show.
Jeff gets a pick.
It's okay.
Then Mag gets a pick. Mag gets another one. Emma gets one. Jeff gets another. Emma gets another. They're body blocking the door, trying keeping them inside. Really smart. So I'm gonna hit tab, and we're gonna see Mag is 8-2, Emma's 8-2, Hella's 9-3. But two of those fights that were won happened because the first person on their team to get a pick was the Jeff.
I rule all. 30 seconds before you.
So while all of the kills and the final hits and everything from Hella and Mag and Emma, they're good for sure. It is, like anytime you can secure a kill, it's a good thing. But that first initial pick matters so much that ultimately it decides the fight.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Doom has overreached, and we must correct him.
When you get that first pick, you have a very small window, or when you get picked yourself, there's a very small window in which you can sort of equal it out. And ultimately, you want to do it when there's ultimates going off. So here Namor gets the first pick, and so during this time, there we go. Then Hella gets another pick while the ults are going off. When a pick happens, if the enemy team gets a pick on your team and the enemy team stabilizes quickly enough, they will naturally just have a numbers advantage. So during that time in which the enemy team gets a pick on you, there's a very small window in which you can cancel it out, because odds are to get that pick, they had to engage on you. Someone's probably low, their cooldowns are down. And that's when you want to try and equal it back out. So then you turn it back from a 6v5 and immediately back into a 5v5. And now we're going to see like who can get that pick, stabilize, and then ultimately secure the objective.
A nice deep freeze. Another hit for you.
And Luna gets 2 kills, which ultimately put them in the numbers advantage. So now all they need to do is just overpower them.
Capture the mission area.
So even though the blue team got that first pick, because of the fact that they didn't just stabilize and hold that lead, they lost it quickly enough that the pink team here was able to sort of regroup themselves and change the advantage into their favor. Jeff gets another pick as soon as the fight breaks out. And the pink team hold on to their advantage. It balances out. Then the blue team gets 2 picks. Because they... And then the blue team takes control over the objective. The pink team had the first pick, but during that time, the blue team was able to get 2 picks in, right immediately afterwards. So they weren't able to get the advantage and then hold on to it. And now they're down 1. So they're going to poke and play safe. They're going to try and see what they can do in the meantime. Maybe get a lucky pick. But you see they're not playing super aggressive as they wait for Jeff to come back. And Jeff should be coming back pretty quick because he's a fast little shark. They get in the first pick on the Namor, which means that the rest of them will fall over. Iron Man's gonna stall.
Time to celebrate. Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Once they had that advantage with that Namor being down, they really jumped on the opportunity by ulting onto the point and just immediately cleaning them up. But now, of course, they are down ultimates for this next fight. Oh, low. Backing up to give up space. Who's going to get the picks?
I'm
Of course, the Luna ult. Iron Man gets the first pick. Can they hold on to it? They get the second pick. The enemy team's going to fall over. Or the team is going to fall over. At this point, they're just trying to do their best to stall it out. But just through sheer power alone and sheer numbers, they can't hold on to it. Iron Man ended up getting that first opening pick, which was huge. So even though he's 11-5, you know, the scoreboard isn't going to accurately reflect his impact on that fight there.
I'm fine, don't mind me.
Now we're looking to see who's going to get the first pick and who's going to fall over. Jeff again. Jeff gets a pick on the Luna. If the enemy team... Oh, she gets res, but then Hela gets another pick on the Namor. So now it's a 6v5 advantage in the pink team's favor. Which means even if they just play slow and hold that numbers advantage, and then they hold that numbers advantage, they don't lose it while the team's ulting and they're not getting anything out of it. And it's just cleanup. Jeff gets another pick. And I believe this should be it. More body blocking? Cool. Oof.
I am ready to put on a show.
Oh. And that is game. So I want you to notice just how often and how quickly a team got ran over when they had when they lost the numbers advantage, right? And if we look at the scoreboard here at the very end, so Hela was 23-6, which for sure is really, really good. Like, she was cleaning up and getting a bunch of kills. But there was many times that the Jeff here was the first one to get eliminations on a few of the fights, which ultimately led to them having the numbers advantage early and making it easier for them to secure the rest of the rest of the kills. So although it's going to, people are going to look at the scoreboard and be like, oh, well, Hell is 23-6. Like, yeah, you know, she definitely did really good. But who got the first opening pick, right? Who is repeatedly getting that first opening pick in order to secure that fight and secure that win? This is also the same as to why when sometimes people are like, oh, well, you know, I ended the game like 30-4 or 30-6 or whatever. It's just like, right. But in those 6 deaths, you were also the first one to die. That means that you left your team at a disadvantage 6 times. Like that was your fault. This is why I always try to tell you guys about like the numbers advantage and holding on to that, and the reason why, you know, deaths are so like brutally punishing in this game. Because the moment that someone falls over and you lose that numbers advantage, if that enemy team stabilizes at all and just holds that numbers advantage, you will eventually just fall over and lose that fight. If you can't get another pick in that small window to change it from a 6v5 to a 5v5, you are eventually just going to lose the fight out of just the sheer, you know, power coming back at you due to sheer numbers advantage. So, you know, even though you can look at the scoreboard and see that like somebody might have a lot of kills, like who has the first opening kill? Or more importantly, who has the first death in every single team fight? If you are, you know, playing your games and you're struggling, but you find that you are routinely the first one dying in a lot of your fights, that might be one of the reasons as to why you're struggling to climb. It's also why, like, if you look at any of my accounts or any of my games, I die very little, right? I am typically not the first to die, and I try not to be the first to die. It's not to say it's not never, but I try not to be that first death because I understand that once one person dies, the rest of the team is going to fall over naturally. It doesn't matter if you're ending the game, you know, with 50 kills. If you also have 20 deaths and you were the first to die lots of times, you're actually being more of a hindrance to your team than a help. So, you know, I hope I like spectating this match and seeing how, you know, players at the very top, you know, at the literal best on the in the server play, and seeing how quickly they fall over once they lose a member. I hope that by seeing this, you guys can see like how important it is to try and stay alive, and also how important it is to try and secure that first pick and then just stabilize and hold on to that first pick. Anyway, yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope that you guys were able to learn a lot. I know it was fun to watch a game from top level play. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.